Some of those who survived that day in 2023 were themselves survivors of the Holocaust, including our first guest, Zvi Solow, who fled Poland, Italy, and Greece as the Nazis advanced across Europe. On October 7th, Solow saw neighbors taken hostage as he held the door shut to his safe room. He spoke with me from southern Israel. Zvi Solow, it is a privilege to have you on the program. Welcome.
You're welcome too.
You know, you were a small child in Poland during the Second World War, and your family managed to escape in 1940. You were just 6 years old, a little boy. Can you tell us your story? How did you manage to survive?
By luck. My father, before the war, was a prominent lawyer in Warsaw, and he had connections. And when Warsaw was occupied by the Nazis, we got, by his connections, official permission to go to Italy, which then was pro-Nazi, but for some reason was neutral. So we simply got on a train and went to Trieste. The Nazis let us out. And we lived in Trieste for some months, and then Mussolini joined the war on the wrong side, and then we had to escape. Then we became refugees, and we escaped to Greece, which Greece was neutral but was protected by the British. And we stayed in Athens for almost a year. When Greece was about to be occupied by the Nazi army, we and everybody else who could escaped east, and we got to what was then British mandatory Palestine. That's it.
What personal lessons should we all take from your story of survival? Well,
for one thing, not to be in a position of a small, helpless minority with fascists. Look, I was a little kid, and most of my war experience was running away and arriving in some other place and trying to adjust, and then moving again and so on. So that's what comes to mind. I remember.
A recent survey by the Anti-Defamation League found that half of adults, let's think about that, half of adults around the world still hold anti-Semitic beliefs and actually even deny the historical facts of the Holocaust. You know, according to the Jewish Agency, 2024 saw a doubling, 100% increase in anti-Semitic attacks right around the world. That was compared to 2023. We are seeing vandalism, serious attacks on synagogues. Did you ever believe we could come to this point again in history?
Look, I didn't consider it very seriously, but I'm not terribly surprised, because what we're seeing now are events that happened long before the Nazis came to power in Germany, all over Europe. And so if, the world got back, Western world got back to normal after the Nazi era, they got back to normal on this issue too, unfortunately.
And what do you mean by back to normal?
Back to the situation that was then before the Nazis came to power. It didn't all start from nothing.
So you believe the roots of anti-Semitism were allowed to thrive again and are to this day?
Oh, yes, definitely. Don't know to what extent, but I never believed it simply disappeared.
In fact, Ronald Lauder of the World Jewish Congress said, "We thought the virus of anti-Semitism was dead, but it was just in hiding," he says. You would agree with that?
Yes.
You've been through so much, even just in the last year and a half. On October 7th, Hamas killed 1,200 Israeli civilians and soldiers. There were so many elderly Holocaust survivors among them who were terrorized on that day. You yourself, you had to barricade yourself in your safe room in Kibbutz Nirim as it came under attack. Can you tell us what happened to you on that day? And did it bring you back to all you suffered in your childhood?
It didn't, because I was too busy who wasn't reminiscing. But what happens, more or less what you said. We were attacked physically. The area where I lived was attacked. And we barricaded ourselves in our safe room. I held the handle of a door and waited for the army to get us out for quite a few hours until they arrived.
And what was going through your mind as that was happening?
That they should arrive before the terrorists. Where the hell are they?